So it is 11 o'clock on the dot, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the session that you're in with me is Taylor Swift theme. Okay, so we did present this at NC Ties. So if you were in our NC Ties session, this is going to be pretty spot on to what that was. But we're in our top tips for student digital creation tools. So the reason it's 2.0 is because we did this an original the year before, so we came back with a little addition for 2.0. So I love that this conference is Taylor Swift themed because our presentation was already Taylor Swift themed one, and so each section is a different era. So if you are Swifty, jump in the chat or whatever you want to do and tell me if you can tell what era we're in, because we had the most fun doing this, and I hope that you can tell. And you're going to have little Easter eggs throughout this of things that were created with digital tools. So the word era right here was actually created using Adobe Firefly. So Adobe Firefly is an image generator, AI image generator, where you give it the text and you tell it the texture or the way you want it to look. So there's some Easter eggs in here that I'm going to call out as well. And I'm going to do my best to keep us within time so that you can get to your next session. But I did want you, if you could, I haven't seen anybody say anything in the chat, so I'm hoping the chat's working. If you could drop in the chat just what you do. I'm going to ask you that in a few minutes anyway, but if you could just do that to let me know that that chat is working. And I did want to let you know that I am recording over here using Screencastify, so you cannot see it, but that is happening, so be aware of that. But I'm recording the screen. Thank you so much for answering. I'm recording the screen in full screen. I'm not recording any of the chat or any of your faces, so I just wanted to let you know that. So I'm seeing some people coming in, telling me what they do, and I really appreciate that. Media coordinator high school. I was a media coordinator at high school for a little bit myself, so let's get into that. So meet your presenter, so Leslie was my co-presenter, and she, like I said, is stuck on a boat. But here we are. Here's our little, I believe these are our Snapchat little people, but here's our contact information if you wanted to get up with us or you had any questions for us. So I'll introduce Leslie for you. For her, she is on my team as a district instructional technology facilitator for Craven County Schools. So we serve multiple schools and we go out and we teach and we train on technology integration. She has 19 years in education. She has they are now 16-year-old triplets. They are 16. So she has triplets. Bless her soul. And she was a classroom teacher for 10 years, an instructional coach for 2, media coordinator for 3, and a DITF, a district ITF for 4. Myself, my name is Chantel. I am a district instructional technology facilitator for Craven County Schools. If anybody's from Craven, let me know. I know Kara Kenny. She's my co-host, helping me with the back end of this chat. She is, so I appreciate that she's here. I have 1 child. Thank goodness I could not have 3. That would not work out for me. Classroom teacher for 8 years elementary. In my last district, the instructional technology leader position was a media coordinator plus your ITF. So they were married. I was that for 3 years in a K-8 and then in a high school. And I've been a district ITF. I will be going on 3 years in December. So to start us out with this session, we're going to be hitting on some ISTE standards. So our ISTE standards are state-adopted standards when it comes to digital literacy and digital learning. So you're going to be growing yourself as a learner and as a leader through this session. So if you would join me on my presentation, and that is pinned at the top. So it's bit.ly/top-tips-STEAM24. If you've ever used bit.lys before, they are case sensitive, so be careful how you are typing that into your browser. But if you would join me on this Mentimeter by clicking on this image, it is going to ask you some questions. And I also am going to drop the Mentimeter link straight into the chat. So that is about to happen. So look for that. dropping that Mentimeter into the chat for you just to click right on it and get to it. I'm also going to press this pin button so we can keep it on there. But we can see our results coming in. Mentimeter is a great way to get feedback from your room and find out who's in the room, find out how your students are feeling today, find out how they want to learn the next topic. So it looks like the lead is our middle school teachers. Hello. Oh, elementary coming up behind them. Now we're even. We have some support staff. So my position's considered support staff as well. And whatever other is, if you wouldn't mind popping over here in our Google chat and tell me what that is. High school teacher. Hello. Takes a special person, right? And so as those are coming in, I want you to be thinking about how Mentimeter could serve you in your role. So how you think you could use this in your role that you're doing in education. So I'm going to go over to my Mentimeter. So that was who was in the room. You should get popped up another question, and it's asking how you feel. What is your comfort level? Let's see if I can get this full screen. What is your comfort level with using digital creation tools in your learning space? Okay, that's the first one. So this is a slider. Digital learning coordinator. Yes, gotcha, Tanya. Gotcha. Okay, so I hope that this is working on your screen as well. This is a scale slider. It is asking your comfort in digital tools. So how much do you agree that you are 100% comfortable using digital creation tools in your learning space? You want to learn advanced things. Okay, so scale on that. The next one, I am 100% confident using the AI tools embedded in digital creation tools I already use. So imagine you use Canva, or you use, and there's AI now going into almost every program that we have. How confident are you in that? And then the next statement is, I'm looking for new digital creation tool programs to trial my students. I have some, but I want to see what else is out there. So the way Mentimeter does this is it's giving you an average. So it looks like our room average of how many people have answered is that we're towards a very comfortable scale using digital creation. And our confidence using the tools already inside of them, though, could use a little work. So this is out of 5, so we're about in the middle. And then a lot of you are looking for new tools, and I hope that I can help you with that today. Notice in Mentimeter at this bottom corner, you can see how many people have responded on your Mentimeter. That's good when you're working the room, working your classroom, to see how many. And now I want to ask you, what is your current, before learning, what is your current favorite digital creation tool? And you're not limited to the ones listed there, but Canva, iMovie, Padlet, WeVideo. What is your current favorite? Like, what is your jam? And this is an open response. Okay, so this is going to be a word cloud. So with word clouds in Mentimeter, the more times that word is entered, it'll be larger. So it's a visual that Canva has been typed in more than the others. Okay. So Canva is in the lead right now. Let me look in the camera. I'm a Canva freak. Okay. I am a Canva freak, and I just love it. Sheila Holloway just joined. Sheila, I have to shout you out. I'm glad you're here. So Canva is the largest one, so that one has been entered the most. Pretty awesome, Canva, what Canva can do. Green screen, yes. Did you know that Canva can do some of that stuff? And I think I do want to hit on that with you today. Padlet, you're going to see a little Padlet. Padlet has some AI in there now as well that I'm really excited about. Clips, so we have we are an Apple district, so we're one-to-one with iPads, but a lot of the things that I love are universal. And camming. Good. Thank you guys for answering that for me. And let me see what else I have. And what is an upcoming project or topic in your classroom or within your reach that you would like to add digital creation to? So what is like maybe a topic that you're well, I hate to lean on scores, but let's say I had a little dip in my scores and I'd really like to get my kids more engaged. What topic is that? Or what is a topic that you cringe when you go to work? Okay, so I remember when I taught fifth grade and I cringed, I believe it was fifth or third, I think it was fifth. I cringed when I was about to teach them how to read a ruler. So, what could I have done now, thinking 10 years later, all the things I could have done to visually make that easier on my kids? And I cringed when I had to teach metric to standard. Oh, but now think about the visuals I could have made or I can make now with some of these topics, and one of them I'm going to mention later. Short story analysis, fables and stories unit, CER. Help me with those letters. CER. Career. I don't know. I'm gonna guess. I want to use more digital tools in my classroom to help with engagement and understanding. Same. So that is like my team's goal this year is to up engagement, and help these kids just handle themselves. Literacy analysis, literary analysis, ACT prep, claim evidence, reasoning, personal narrative, citing evidence. There's a lot of literacy going on in here. So hopefully I can hit that for you. I think I can. All right, let me see if I have anything else. All right, so that's the end of our Mentimeter. So I'm going to jump back into my presentation. I have a lot going on over here, and I'm going to get rid of this. All right, here we go. Let's see what we have. What are we going to learn today? All right, so let's start off. If you guys were in your opening keynote, Vera hit on all this, but I just want to very shortly hit it as well that NCDPI has AI guidelines. If you haven't heard that, here is a link to the live document. Ever changing AI is always gonna change everything. If the guidelines were too long, didn't read TLDR, right? AI in education is highly supported by DPI. They want it, but they want it done purposefully and they want it done safely. So they do, and they also really want to encourage you not to lean on AI detectors because they are false positiving, and you guys got all that this morning. Also, these few vocabulary words, because you're going to hear them while we talk, AI, artificial intelligence, it has become a catch-all kind of term for applications or things that can perform complex tasks that used to need a human, right? Yes, there's a link to my slides. Hopefully, it is pinned, and I'm going to grab it. Excuse me, I'm doing my little chat over here. All right, but what is the biggest right now in education is generative AI. So generative AI tools, they take the human prompt and they create an original product. So they can create text, code, images. Now they can do audio, video, experiences, conversations. So those are original products based on the prompting given by the human. And Vera hit on these two this morning as well. An AI assisted assignment is where the teacher explicitly asks the kids, hey, use AI to do this and then do this. So you're asking the kids to go out into that AI world, get that experience, that workforce development that they need that Vera talked about this morning. An example would be if you have the kids interact with AI, generative AI, and have AI write a short story, and then ask the student to critique the grammar of what was generated by AI. And then you have an AI resistant assignment, which she talked about this morning too, where the assignment is so specific or it has elements in it that AI could not do that work that you're asking of the students. So asking them to write about something personal or asking them to write about something that AI wouldn't know in its database. And like she talked about this morning in the workforce development, AI prompt engineering is a growing career path. I actually saw a job posting for Disney World where it asked them to write AI responses and prompts for characters that kids would interact with at the park. Very cool. Um, we'll come back to this Padlet, so let's go right past it, I'm hoping. Okay, so let's start with our first tool. Adobe Firefly is a product that generates images based on your prompting. So the more specific your prompt, the more perfect to what you asked for image is that you're going to get. Something to keep in mind is that if you use your personal email, if your school system has not got this going, ours hasn't quite yet, use your personal email account, but keep an eye on your credits. So you'll get X amount of credits a month or a year. Canva also has that same quality when it comes to credits in some of its AI. So if you wanted the premium plan, there's your pricing for that. Here is what that looks like. So it asks you for the prompt down here. What text is it? Is it text that you want it to texturize or make look a certain way? And the prompt that she gave it the letter STEM, and she asked it to the prompt she gave it was wires, lights, and bright colors. And it gives you a few options, and then you could tweak your prompting from there. So imagine some of the things you could do with your students when they're making a display or however they're showing their learning. You could give them, say, okay, pick a word that resonates from what we did today and prompt AI using some of the context of what we were learning. So let's say you're learning or you're dealing with a folklore fables, right? You might check their learning based on the prompt that they give in here. Did they get the message from what we did today? And let them kind of explain what they were able to create and how that makes sense based on what you were learning that day. Here's another one that's not texturizing words. It is actually text to image. So her prompt in this one was a colorful life art animation of a betta fish with rainbow scales and fins moving gracefully in a dark background. Okay, so just the writing skills that it takes to write these prompts is a whole thing. All those describing words, the ordering of those words is going to get you a different product. So that is exactly what she wrote, right? But AI could interpret that multiple ways. And then if it was, let's say it was too dark, she could go in and redo her prompting. Keeping in mind the credits because that's eating up a credit, but it's okay because she wants to get exactly what she wants. But if you would, drop in the chat for me how you could see yourself using this last tool, Adobe Firefly, in your classroom. So every content area could use this, but how do you see yourself possibly using that tool? So if you would take a second while I jump into the next one and tell me, how do you see yourself possibly using that? And Kelly says visualizing while reading. Absolutely. So the kids, when we're reading a book, all that's going on in our brain, right? Having the kids take some of those descriptors out and see how AI thinks that character looks. Maybe he's handsome, maybe he's from a certain country, maybe he is all those describing words that came out of that book to demonstrate students' understanding of a math concept. Absolutely. So, or that I see that, and then I'm also seeing like real world applications of that math in an image as well. Capstone presentations, yes. So pulling all those things together. So I'm going to pull all the vocabulary I can remember out of what's going on and what is AI going to give me. And I think the magic is in that prompt. So you want the image, but you also want their prompt to see their thought process. So it's kind of like when they're coding, but you want to see their thought process behind the code as well. I'm an AI art show. I love it. That is the future. The future is being able to prompt AI in such a way that it creates this beautiful art. I mean, there's going to be paintbrushes and there's going to be paint strokes, but there's going to be a whole genre, if it's not already, because it's hard to keep up. It's going to be a whole genre of art that is just in the prompting. Math vocabulary as a visual. Love it. All right, let me keep going so I don't run out of time. Magic School AI. Raise your hand in the reactions if you've heard of Magic School AI, and put a whatever negative if you haven't, which is really sad. But oh no, oh no, why am I seeing thumbs down, you guys? This is a game changer, okay? So, Magic School AI has all these tools, and because I just saw those thumbs down, I'm about to jump in there and we're going to come back. But I'm going to jump in there because I am actually not to choose my horn, but I am actually a certified trainer for Magic School AI. So, let me see if I can get logged in or if it's going to give me a fit. I'm going to opt out of that. Okay, close. All right, so because I am a trainer, I have this enterprise, which means I have the whole shebang. And if you have the time, you would go in this training and just, there's a whole kind of series to be able to get to be a trainer to get the shebang. But Magic School, basically somebody with, so one of us, this was definitely one of us, a team, because I actually met them, some of the team. They went in and they kind of crafted this prompting to do things that teachers need to do every day. I know that our focus is on creation tools, and so I want to point you towards the choice board. You could prompt it to do to make you a choice board, and it is in choice board format. Let me just go in here, choice board. Okay, so I would pick my grade level. I would say that I want to create digital creations of math concepts in algebra. And if I want to I can give it more detail to make it better, but then it's going to generate based on what I told it. I hope it took that in. Okay, here we go. It created me a choice board of things that I could then go ask. I could give this straight to my kids or I can edit it. But look at some of it. Algebra art, create a digital poster using algebraic expressions. You could point them to some of these generators, right? Math blog post, write a blog entry about a real world application of algebra. You could have them write a blog entry with digital, of course. Virtual math manipulatives, use online. Okay, so look, develop a storyboard that narratives a problem-solving process using algebra. This can be your thought partner. This can be your lesson creator. And then you could go edit. But while I have you, let me tell you about a couple things. You could use this one to email family. Put in there what you want to tell the family, and it'll make it more professional. Do you suggest using your school email for this site or personal? I use my school because I did the training things, but if your district hasn't given you like a lot of, I don't know. I would say I don't know that answer. But I know when I have done like ChatGPT and stuff, I definitely use my personal. Just because you just never know some of the things that are turned on. And when you have a text proofreader, you have this one, you can put in your directions and it will make your directions more concise. It'll clean up your directions. Is it like Canva where you get premium features for being a teacher? I would have to look into that because I honestly started with a teacher account. I do know what it does now is you have a trial for 7 days and then it bumps you back to only having like this many instead of this many. So that is actually a good question. That might be a quick little Google search to find out. It has an embedded image generator. It has IP writers. It helps you write social media posts. It helps you rewrite a text with any criteria you want. It also has a text leveler where you could take the article that you are using in your classroom, throw it in there, and ask it to put it down on a first grade level, and it will do that for you. It's fantastic. So if you have not gone in here, please go in here. Magic School also now has Magic Student, and you're going to want to check your district's policies on all of these things, okay? So there are privacy things that each company has to tell you what age kids need to be, but I'm going to show you what this looks like, and you just look through the lens of what does my district allow. So if you were to try to use Magic Student, they don't log in here. They basically have a join code like you did with my Mentimeter. So let's just see what we can do. Let's say we want to have them chat with a historic figure. Okay, so you just learned about, I don't know, we're gonna go Taylor Swift because we're Taylor Swift. So we're gonna say Taylor Swift, and we're gonna generate. Give it a minute. Remember with AI, you have that minute where it has to think. Okay, so here is Taylor Swift talking to your class. What do you want to talk about today? Okay, and then if you want to share this, you can share it publicly, you can share it with your organization, etc. But remember, with all of this, you want to check your district policies. Okay, so we're going to jump out. So what you basically do is you launch out to students, you get the room ready and you launch it out to your students, and you can see how they're interacting with this AI. So we're starting a new room for our students, grade level, max students, and I'm picking that I want them to interact with Taylor Swift. I also, if I wanted to stick with the theme, I can add an image generator. So these are the 3 things I have allowed for them to be able to do in this room. Create a skit, talk with a character, and create images. Next, I can customize those things. So I'm going to go in here and customize that they are going to be talking to Taylor Swift. Okay. Next, generate. I want just to test it and see how it's going to do. And I'm going to launch my room. Okay. So it's going to give me a join code. I can give them a join with a URL, a QR, or I can pop it into their Google Classroom. And I'm going to get this to them. And as the kids enter, they're going to pop up on this screen here. And I'm going to see what they're asking of that AI and what they're getting from that AI. Pretty safe in my opinion. But again, check. With your district, and you can pause this if they're misbehaving. You can lock it. You can show the join information. You can add a teacher with you, etc. So pretty cool. If you want to delete the room, you have to do something extra. So thumbs up, thumbs down. How you feel about Magic School, and if you think it could benefit you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look, I love the thumbs ups. I love it. I love it. Cool. So if you learned one thing today, I hope that it's that you need to go and make you an account. And it may be that if you have someone like me in your district, if you have someone, ITF, or someone that you trust, your librarian, and ask them that question about if you should use your personal or not. And so these slides are just a couple of those features. This slide talks about becoming a pioneer. That is a group where you can kind of give feedback, and then you can take another thing and become a trainer and get that full. Here's the Magic Student. So you can always reference these slides to go back and look at the Magic Student. What I like is that when the students enter that room that you made, they get this nice, and it may have changed now, but they get this nice thing that says how to use it responsibly. Your teacher's going to see what you're going to do. It takes practice, right? So it's helping them with the prompt engineering. AI is a tool. It does not replace you. And when you're getting your products, you need to be thinking critically. Is this, does this have bias? Is this even correct? How can I check and make sure you're not putting things in like your address or the code to your front door? So I like that. That was really nice. There's some more about the training. All right, so to my jam is Canva. So Canva has some AI embedded in it, especially in its creation tools. So the ones that we have, I actually added some more, but we have Magic Edit, and you can tell by this that it's going to change the image based on your prompting. Magic Media, which is basically text to image, so it's another image generator with your prompting. Magic Expand, which I gotta show you because that one's pretty cool. Magic Morph, think of Adobe Firefly. It's texturizing that picture or that image. And if you click here, there is a video that helps you upgrade your Canva account to the premium, like like someone mentioned. Here you go. Erica mentioned. This is how you upgrade to the teacher. It's just a few clicks and it's really, really easy. Oh, let me go back. So, does anyone know what era this was? This theme here? It's purpley, books, sparkles. So you might know what Taylor Swift era this is. So, it was very fun making this, by the way. If anybody does, drop it in the chat. And then maybe somebody knows what this era is. And then this hat image was created using Magic Media in Canva. So my prompt, let's see if I can zoom in because I want to show you that you do want to be citing your work when you're creating with Canva. So there's a lot of talk about what that citing should look like. Should it be APA? Should it be MLA? What should it be? I strung it together enough to cover myself. Speak now then read. Erica, you win. You're so good. I strung it together with enough information that I'm covered and I'm not acting like I made this myself. And I think we'll see more guidance come out on how to cite these things, but I covered myself and I will continue to learn, and I think that's all we can do, right? So this image was created with Magic Media within Canva by Chantel. Okay, so a little bit of ownership with the prompt, Old Red Fiddler's Cap. And this is the date that I asked AI to make this, and this is my product. I feel personally, I could be wrong, that I'm covered by that citation. I'm covered by what I did there. Okay, so the first one, Magic Studio. Magic Studio is like the over umbrella of all of this AI. But Magic Studio, basically in Canva, you can say, I want to make a presentation that has a lot of purple, has some basketballs, and teaches about human resource things. And it will pop you out something to get you started, which I always love something to get me started. You know, I don't want to start from scratch. So that's kind of the overall umbrella of where all this started. But when we go in, there's one Magic Media. This is prompt driven. This is you telling it what to create. So these shoes down here were also created with Magic Media. And so it says image created with Magic Media Canva by Chantel with the prompt red sneakers with jewels, no background. And that's the date that it was created. So I think I'm covered, and I think as long as you teach your kids to give you all of that information, you're good. A classroom application for creating images with prompting could be that they type in the characteristics of a character in a book and see what AI creates, which is kind of what we said earlier. And I saw a typo, so my bad. Every typo, you win a piece of chocolate. Magic Expand is fun. Let me jump into Canva. We're going to run out of time here in a minute. So let me do this. And so with Magic Expand, you basically take a picture. I need to take one of myself just because. Okay, here's some students that don't have their faces up, so I think that's fine. You basically take a picture, throw it in a flyer, click the picture, and you're going to go to Edit. Here come your tools. So Magic Studio, remember, is kind of your AI-driven tools. What got me into Canva is this background remover. That's how I fell in love with Canva. So I can take the background right off of this, and I can use that image, and it does a pretty good job, right? So that's how I fell in love with Canva. If you fell in love with Canva, please tell me what made you fall in love with Canva. But I mean, it doesn't get much better than this, right? I'm going to turn that off though, because something that you have to, something is you can't layer these tools. So that's something I had to learn. But Magic Expand. All right, so I'm going to click Freeform. And basically what I'm doing, I am telling it that I want artificial intelligence to go out and grab from its large language model all the data it has, and I want it to expand my image, fill it in with generative information based on what it sees. What does it assume would be the rest of this picture? Now, some of this stuff is weird that comes up, okay? So if I was the teacher, I think I would say, okay, it's working. I would pause my screen and I would wait and see what it gives. So it gives you some options over here. So AI, again, has a delay, and then it gives you a few options. Okay, first one's weird. It put this weird character behind here. But if you look at some of these, they're not bad. I mean, it kind of gives some hints that this is artificial intelligence, but that's another learning space for kids. How do I tell that that's artificial? But look at this one right here. I mean, that's pretty legit. It filled in the ceiling. It filled in the rest of the books. So I want you to think in the chat, how could you possibly use a magic expand in your classroom space where it finishes an image, and then how could you possibly use that in your space? I don't know that it could be used in every content, but it could be used in a lot. Another tool within here, Magic Edit. So you could take Magic Edit, you could kind of color what you wanted, and then tell it to replace with a book, because it's an iPad right now, okay? It's going to think, it's going to delay, and it's going to try to replace that image with a book, which is pretty cool. I mean, these things were not here before. And an application as a teacher, okay, so it's trying really hard. It's struggling. But here you go. It put a book in his hand. It's not great. Here's another one. It definitely put a book. If you zoomed out, that's not so bad. But as a teacher, if you take a picture in your classroom and there's something that you don't need other people to see, a barcode, a student identifier, you could take this and smudge it out with Magic Erase, or you could replace it with Magic Edit. You could replace your name badge. You could take a picture of your car and smudge the license plate, right? So you could use this in a lot of ways. If you took a picture and you had a glass of wine and you want to put it on your Facebook, but you're a teacher, use that Magic Erase or replace it with a Coke, right? Okay, so you're good. Anyway, I have 2 minutes. And I feel like I could have gone on for about 6 hours. So let me go back if I can find myself. And I'm just going to show you that all these next slides are other Canva things. This one, though, I really wanted to show you. So when I was thinking earlier about how I could have taught a ruler, how I could have taught changing decimals, this one is pretty cool. So basically it's called Create Animation. You put your images that you want. You click on the image and you press animate, and the kids can create their own animation and make the dog jump through the grass that happened in the book. Okay, I went low on this one, but you could show how you change the decimals and move the decimal place. So that's a good question, Kelly, and something that I'll probably have to end on because of my time. But you do need to check the privacy policy for Canva, and my last that I saw, they needed to be 13 or have parent permission. But you can have a Canva class, and you can put out classwork. You can send out a template where then they can edit the template and they turn work into you. They would need to, I guess, use Google to sign in or something like that. But if they're under 13, you have to have parent permission for this one. The last that I did my research. Okay, so there's a lot more in here, but it's time to be ending. So I just wanted to end with AI can never replace you as a teacher, but it can help you. So please let it help you, and please develop those kids into being workforce ready, like Vera said this morning, by getting them encountered or getting them introduced to artificial intelligence before they go out into that workplace. The only thing I wanted to do is jump you back to this Padlet and just show you that this Padlet was started earlier in the year, 4 months ago. But if you have any ideas in here, you can go look at other people's ideas too of how they have embedded artificial intelligence into their classroom as well. So I do just want to try to find you guys on here because I am double dipping. But no, I don't, because that's going to be a lot. But I do want to thank you for being here, and I'm glad that you're here, expanding your learning for your students and for your classroom. Thank you, Sheila. And this last slide does have some resources and some videos for you to take with you and continue learning. Kara, thank you so much for helping me. I don't know what I would have done without you. And I will see you as I make my rounds because you're at one of my schools. But again, I appreciate you being here. Please take this time to take care of yourself. Use the bathroom before your next session. And I will be out there learning with you. So have a great day and keep learning for those babies. Yeah. Yeah.